Hello Leo, and welcome to this little corner of the internet that is Wild Fox Alchemy. Happy New Year, Leo. Hope that you're full of enthusiasm for the new year to come. Let's hope it's a really good year for everyone. If we haven't met before, my name is Maria Guyon. I am an intuitive business success coach, and I'm here to do your monthly finance and business reading, general. It's not a personal reading, this is for the collective. There will be some things that resonate for some Leos and not for others. So take whatever is resonating for you, leave the rest behind. Now, my readings are very organic. I am intuitive, I am clairaudient, and I am sometimes told to turn the cards one at a time. Today, for whatever reason that may become clear, I'm being asked to turn over all the cards before we start. So that's what I'm going to do. Finance reading, we start with a rebirth is assured. Bat spirit, that's the energy for the whole of the month. Where you need to focus your energy is the Three of Crystals, collaboration and productivity. Your strengths, positives, the Three of Shells, playfulness and bliss. Possible obstacles or blocks, the Shaman, divine wisdom and spiritual power. And the outcome is the Three of Acorns, foresight and exploration. Business reading, we have yes, the Yes card from Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light deck. Where you need to focus your energy is on inspiration and perception, the Moon card there. So we've got a couple of major arcana so far. Strength, the Nine of Acorns, power and perseverance. What a great position that's in. Possible obstacles and blocks, the Three of Feathers, release and recovery. And the outcome is the Page of Shells, intuition and inspiration. Okay, now the first thing that I'm being guided to look at is the fact that you have the Three of Crystals, the Three of Shells, the Three of Acorns and the Three of Feathers in this reading. That's all the threes. The threes are all about starting to create something, okay? And we've got this rebirth here. This rebirth, this starting to create something new here, Leo. This is interesting. We've got a couple of major arcanas there. We've got a possible blockage of intuition, divine wisdom. Maybe sitting in a spiritual closet a little. And we've also got the Moon card there, which could be bringing to light something that you haven't really thought of before, something subconscious, something, maybe a fear that needs to be uncovered, something that is going on under the surface, and it's all going to become clear. I like the look of this reading. Let's get into it. We start with this energy for your business with Bat Spirit, a rebirth is assured. This one for me, it's a little bit like the Death card, I feel, in that it's about endings, it's about things needing to be let go of, things that needing to change actually. And maybe, Leo, looking back on 2021, maybe your finances need to change. Now that could mean anything. It could mean from you being broke to actually earning a living. It could mean that you want to up-level, that there's change needed in some products and services, maybe in pricing, all sorts of different things that you could need to change in order to move forward to the next level that you want to get to. There could be things you still want. And this card is saying that this rebirth is assured, that no matter what happens, that, you know, things do come to an end, things do change, but out of rock bottom, out of the endings come new things. And it's the rebirth that you need to be focusing on. Now, I'm kind of being told there's two ways to look at this, that some people will have an unexpected ending, an unexpected situation, or a situation that's really been getting them down for a while. And they are to be reminded that this rebirth is assured, that this is going to pass, you're going to move forward, financially things will get better. The other side of the coin is people who want to make the change, who are maybe trying to make a decision on whether to move forward with something or not, who aren't sure whether it's the right way to go. This card is saying to you, your rebirth is assured. So if you want to end something, but you're worried about what might replace it, or you're worried that something won't replace it, don't worry. This rebirth is going to be good for you. Where you need to focus your energy is the Three of Crystals, collaboration and productivity. I like this card. This card is, again, it's a 3. It's about starting to create new things. This is about planning and growth. It's about learning new things. It's about learning new skills. I'm wondering whether this is new products and services. This is a new thing. It could be a new business altogether that you're looking at. And the theme along a lot of the readings that I've done already this month has been very much about pivoting and possibly scrapping business ideas that the pandemic has ruined. So in my own case, I talk about this a lot. I started an ecotherapy clinic in 2020. And the whole idea was that I would take people to go forest bathing. I would help them heal from depression and anxiety by coming and sitting and doing work by the ocean or in the mountains, by streams, that sort of thing, in the outdoors. And then, of course, the pandemic came along. And I wrote in my diary, oh, this will be over in a couple of months and we'll just move forward from there and I'll do a few, sort of online calls and it'll be fine. But I couldn't make the online calls work for me. There were some very, very clever ecotherapists out there that did some wonderful work using Zoom and Skype and working virtually, helping people, they were in their own gardens and doing things like that. I struggled. It was very hard, and a lot of my clients, they didn't live in spaces where they got gardens or they couldn't get outside at all. And it was very difficult for me to continue that practice. I found it very hard. So I closed the business when it became obvious that this pandemic wasn't going to be over in just a couple of months. I closed that business down and I had to have a rethink and I had to start over. And this is a card that is kind of saying, if that's happened to you, if your business is struggling, if there are things that have happened that, this pandemic, and the truth is we don't know when there's going to be an end to it. I don't mean to sound pessimistic. I want you to think about this from the perspective of what happens if this is ongoing for another couple of years. What happens if this pandemic is done? And I'd love to be optimistic and say that governments have learned how to handle this should anything else arise. But the truth is they haven't. Mr. Boris Johnson, who is the Prime Minister of the UK, learned nothing from the first wave of this pandemic and has continued to be irresponsible, in my opinion, when it comes to how to protect the people that he is supposedly taking care of. And I feel that it's time for us to take personal responsibility. That we find it very easy in business to kind of coast along thinking that nothing will ever change. Now, we have issues of climate change. We have lots of big things happening on this planet. We have terrible issues with racism, with discrimination, marginalised groups. We've got the things going on in Afghanistan where the women are back to being suppressed again by the Taliban. We've got possibilities of power shortages. We've got lockdown things. We've got less contact than we've ever had with other people. And I don't want to make you feel depressed by all that. It's very easy to look at all that and go, well, there's no point. I might as well just stay in bed and pull the duvet over my head and just not bother. Well, what I'm saying to you is this. Don't let it depress you. Let it fire you up. The best entrepreneurs look for opportunities. Okay? Now, I believe that you're here because your soul has called you to start or run a business that is in line with your passion and purpose. There is something that you were called to this planet to do. You are more than likely a light worker, a healer, some sort of change maker. You believe in spiritual things. You believe that there is more to this life than is obvious. And I believe you were called here for a reason. And I believe you were called here for a reason. But sometimes our soul's calling gets a little bit lost. We don't always hear it very clearly, or, and it's really difficult. It's like when I discovered what my soul's calling truly is, it was like, oh, why didn't I see it? I'd been given clues my whole life, and yet I would sit going, I don't know what my purpose is. What am I here for? And it was like, the universe and spirit must have just have been doing, like a head plan going, I don't understand why she can't understand. Short of getting a billboard and lighting it up and putting it in front of her and going, Maria, this is your purpose. What else are we supposed to do? And I think it's like that for a lot of us. We overthink it. We get lost in our own heads and we don't see the clues. And what I'm trying to say here is the world is changing. It's changing. The world is no longer about going to school, getting good grades, going to college or university, getting good grades, becoming a lawyer, becoming an accountant, earning a lot of money in a career that would last you forever, finding your soul partner, getting married, having children, buying the house, having all the nice things, the fancy car, upgrading all the time. It's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore. People are looking for meaning beyond capitalism, beyond the material stuff. People are drawn now to start businesses because, not because they want the fastest car and the biggest house, but because they want to make a difference in the world. And they can see that by running a business that is helpful, that is compassionate, that is impactful, that they can actually make a difference in the world. That by sitting back and just bean counting, like we've done all these years, and hoping that, you know, we have a nice life and that we're content, isn't enough anymore. It's not going to change anything. Now I'm ranting. I'm on my soapbox. But it's where I love to be. What I'm being told here is that if your soul is nagging at you to end things in your life that are not working, you need to listen. It could be that you've sold widgets for years. It could be that you're in a job where people are not valuing you at all. Where you do work that at the end of the day you think, what the hell was that all for? What have I achieved? Do I feel fulfilled today? Do I? Heck as like. I just don't. I don't even know why I do this job. I do this job for the paycheck at the end, and the paycheck, honestly, at times just isn't worth it. It could be you don't have a job at all right now, and if that's the case, don't be despondent. This, you know, there's only one way up from rock bottom, and that's up. And I always say, if you are not given a job by somebody else, design your own job. Create your own business. Give yourself a job. You don't have to have other people give it to you. And before you start going, oh, I can't start a business, I'm not that sort of person. Entrepreneurs are not born. They're made. Business can be learned. All the skills can be learned. Unless you're trying to do something that requires millions and millions of dollars of investment, there are ways and means of starting a business even if you haven't got $1 to your name. There's a way. Get in touch with me if you need to know more about this. If you want to ask a question, ask me in the comments, because there are lots of ways that you can create your own job if you're out of work. Now, this rebirth is assured. A new start is here for you. And can't think of a better time for a new start than January 2022. Every reading that I've done, Leo, it's been very interesting. They've all had a very similar theme of really reassessing what you want out of your life and what you actually need out of your life. And I feel the shift is coming. The shift is coming away from the material into a more collective, community, compassionate world that we want to live in. I think the pandemic in some ways has actually helped to see how much we need each other. You know, we often think that we don't need people and we're not bothered about other people and all the rest of it, and then suddenly we're left at home, we're working from home, we're not allowed family to come visit, and then we suddenly realise just how horrible isolation is. How depression and anxiety have just gone through the roof because people are not getting contact with other people. People need people. Like it or not, we need community. We were evolved to live in communities. Without community, we died. You know, in the old caveman days, we didn't have a community. We were stuck there on our own. We didn't eat. We weren't warm. We weren't protected. And we died. Now, the world has moved on. Our brains haven't. Our brains are still living in caveman days. I still think I'm Raquel Welch, you know, from 1,000 years BC or whatever it's called. It's just not the way we're meant to be. And I feel like this is creating for a lot of people a new way of thinking about how they want to live. How do you want to live, Leo? Do you want to keep living the life that you are currently living, or do you want more? Now, the other thing, the proviso I'm going to give you here, because Spirit is saying you're on your soapbox, lady, but there's something that, you know, you've got to be careful about. You might want more money, and you might think to yourself, but it's greedy of me to want 6 or 7 figures. That's kind of not in alignment with my view of healing the world or, you know, making a difference on the planet. It's not really about accumulating wealth for me. It's about making a difference. Shall I tell you how you make the most difference? By throwing money at things. And that's going to feel controversial, but it's true. I say it on my website about how, you know, we've written letters to people in power. We try to speak up. We go on pussy marches. We sign petitions. We vote. And yet still we don't seem to be making a difference. How we make a difference is by throwing money at it. The people who made a difference were people who hired lawyers for people that had no money but were falsely arrested or thrown in these terrible places on the borders for asylum seekers where these people have nothing, where there are 3-year-old kids in there on their own with nobody to advocate for them. How do we advocate for them? We throw money at organisations that provide lawyers for these people, that provide stuff that makes them feel like they've still got their dignity. Now, I'm still ranting, and I apologise. But what I'm saying is, it is okay for you, and Spirit is just saying this to me now, it is okay for you to want more money, because you can do more with more money. It's okay for you to heal the planet and live in a nice house. It's okay for you to help other people heal and drive a nice car. You know, it doesn't mean you have to wear the hair shirt and perform self-flagellation, you know. You can be happy and comfortable and have the things that bring you joy. And I mean the things that really bring you joy, not the things that you think impress the neighbours, and still help heal the world, okay? This is one of the biggest business blocks I come across. People who desperately want to help and they go, the money doesn't matter to me, and they are broke. They are flat broke. Their business is about to be bankrupt. But they don't look at that side of things because all they're looking to do is help other people, and they help other people at the expense of their own well-being. Don't let that be you. So, with that in mind, there is a rebirth here, Leo. You need to learn some new skills. There is personal growth here and a lot of learning. And this card is indicating to me that you don't have all the answers to whatever it is that you want to do, and you need to find people to collaborate with. Now, collaboration can be as simple as finding an accountability partner in a Facebook group, somebody who cheers you on when you're feeling a bit down. It could be somebody that you can just chat to. I don't know about you, but I'm a bit of a verbal processor, and I'm very lucky in that I have a husband who doesn't talk much, bless his heart. And quite often I will have a problem and I will sit and I will talk at him for half an hour, and he'll nod and sometimes he'll say the odd word, and by the end of that half an hour I have the answer. Not because of anything that he's necessarily said, but I've talked it through and got the answers, and sometimes just having a listening ear can be all the collaboration that you need to kind of flesh out your ideas and see what sounds sensible and what sounds ridiculous and what's practically possible and what isn't. What makes you feel good when you say it and what makes you think, uh-oh, no, that's not for me. So that sort of collaboration. Collaboration could be something as simple as reading somebody's book on how to do the thing that you want to learn. It can be attending somebody's course on how to do something. It could be finding a partner. You could have skills out there for running a business that somebody else is really looking for and they want a partner. Or it could be that the skills that you feel that you lack, somebody else can bring to your business. It could even be collaboration with spirit. meditate, look for the messages. Like I said, you know, with my soul's purpose, there I was waiting, wondering when I would get this magical download that would pop into my head and it would go, la la la, this is your passion and purpose, off you go. And it never came because Spirit and the universe were like, but we've told you. We've told you 1,000,000 times. We've made you feel good when you're nurturing people, when you're healing people. We've given you jobs where you've nurtured people and healed people. We've brought people to you that needed healing, nurturing. And now you're saying, what's your bloody soul purpose? What is wrong with you, woman? You know, when I look back on it, it's so ridiculous. But this is how it goes. So I feel like this rebirth this month is just something you need to take very, very seriously and start to collaborate with other people. Start reading other people's work. Start looking at other people's skills. Start looking at the gaps. Start looking at your own self. Where do you feel your passion and purpose is? And is your current job or career fulfilling that? Now, for a time, my business did fulfill my passion and purpose, but it wasn't in exactly the right way. So I had to do a bit of pivoting. I had to do a little bit of changing. And I got there in the end, and now I couldn't be happier. So be open. Be open to collaboration. Be open to learning new skills. Don't be put off starting something new because you feel like you've got a lot to learn. We all have a lot to learn. I love learning. The day we stop learning is the day we die, I think. So for me, it's like, you know, if and you're never too old either. That's something else I will say here. You are never too old to learn a new skill. If you need to learn something new to bring your business to life, just go out there and get started. Just get it done. Because I feel like this is a big deal for you. Your strengths, before I carry on. This video will be about 3 hours long by the time I finish. Your strengths, the Three of Shells, playfulness and bliss. I love, love, love this card. This card is about you being involved in social groups. It's about you being involved with friends, celebrating good times, having a really lovely kind of feeling about you. There's like an essence to you of this playfulness and bliss, of this not being, you know, deadly serious. And I think, honestly, you will attract the people. What I get from these 2 threes together is that this collaboration is very important for you, Leo. It's very, very important. And I feel like somewhere in your social groups, there are people waiting that could be the key to this new business or new product or service that you're wanting to do. And I think they will be attracted towards you because of your lovely nature. And you do have a nice nature, Leo, let's be honest. You know, Leos are lovely people. A little bit fiery sometimes, but, you know, in general, fun-loving and nice and playful. So I feel that you don't need to worry too much about where these collaborators are going to come from, because I think they're going to be drawn to you. I think that will be your strength. I think you will make it feel like working with you will be absolute bliss. That's a pretty nice way to be, for people to want to work with you because you're such a nice person, rather than people getting up and thinking, oh, I don't want to go to work today because my boss is a bitch. You know, how different if it's like, I can't wait to get to work and see what we're going to do today because it's going to be such fun. You know, business doesn't have to be serious and dry, does it? We can have a lot of fun in business. I love having fun in business. Blockages. We've got the shaman there. Divine wisdom and spiritual power. I feel very strongly that all this is very enthusiastic. This idea of starting a new product or service, doing it with friends, making it real fun, doing something that your soul is called to do, recognizing what your soul is called to do and actually going out there and doing it so you feel like you're in flow, you feel like you're necessary, you're valued, that you're doing something meaningful, that, you know, it is a great deal of fun. It doesn't feel like a terrible hardship to make this thing happen because it's what is meant to be. And then we get this shaman in the blockage position. And this could mean a couple of different things. The first is that you have a lot of divine wisdom and spiritual power. You have a lot to teach. You have quite strong values and principles. You may have been taught traditions of things for years and years and years going down the line. Ancestral wisdom I'm talking about. So maybe you come from a line of witches, maybe you come from a line of indigenous people, from shamans, and you are afraid. You are afraid of being 100% authentic about who you actually are. So you kind of hide it a bit. I always think when the shaman comes in this position, it's you hiding in the woo-woo closet and not wanting to be out and proud about everything that you believe in. But in a lot of respects, blocking that can cause a blockage on the attraction of the people that you want to bring in. Because I'll tell you something for nothing. I've hid in a spiritual closet for a long time. I did my ecotherapy clinic, but I didn't really bring that much deep spirituality into it. And I certainly didn't bring tarot into it. And I certainly didn't bring my clairaudient gifts into it. Okay? And I thought, I can't talk about this sort of stuff because, you know, it's crazy. We can talk about the magic of nature and everything because that feels acceptable. But when we start talking about other kinds of magic and moon magic and all the rest of it, it feels like a step too far. So I didn't do it. And then I closed the clinic, and then I started to be true to who I am and the kind of things, the kind of rituals and spells and readings and intuitive work, the deep soul healing work that transforms lives is what I brought into my business. And you know what? It's flown since I started that. And I found more people that are attracted to what I do and how I do it now than there were when I was trying to be in the closet. When I was so afraid of offending people by being out and proud and saying, yes, I am a practicing green witch, that, you know, it's insane. I found people that totally understand me, people that are then feeling empowered and bold enough to say, yes, that's me too, I believe in all this too. So don't be afraid of whatever spiritual work you want to do. If you're doing something and you're trying to take the spirit out of it in order to feel more acceptable, stop, because you're probably blocking the people that you really need. The people that you can really help. And I know for some people that this is difficult because if you are from a long line of indigenous people and your traditions have been stomped on, your ceremonies have been stomped on, maybe they've been appropriated by other groups, it can feel like a minefield for you. And from a soul wound perspective, I know, you know, we talk about the witch wound. We feel the resonance of our ancestors being persecuted for beliefs, for traditions. So if you come from a line of indigenous people where they were murdered for no good reason, it can feel very difficult to want to speak up and be open and be in truth and be in alignment with who we are. It can be difficult for us sometimes to even uncover the traditions that our ancestors had and held dear and that were sacred to them. But I feel for some people it's about going out and finding those rituals, those ceremonies, finding your history, finding your ancestors, discovering the lost traditions and bringing them back. I think you have to be brave to speak your own language. But, you know, I believe it's the key to changing the world. We can't change what happened in the past, but don't let what happened in the past muzzle you now. Make you mute, make you not want to be who you are, make you not want to stand up for who you are. And I know it can be difficult. You know, the witch wound runs deep as well. You know, in a past life I was burned for being a witch, me and my child. I have visions of it still now, of burning in a house, holding my baby and not being able to get out. Purely because I worked with herbs. And that's a big thing for me, that I didn't want to come out of the spiritual closet. I didn't want to talk about herbalism. I didn't want to talk about all this stuff because I just felt this horrible sense of fear. And I put it down to the fact that, oh, well, you know, I just didn't want to be judged for being a bit woo-woo. When really, it went deeper than that. And those sorts of things need healing. One of the best ways to heal them, actually, is to just open up and be out and proud and talk about things openly. Resurrect tradition, the things that are sacred. Talk about them. Never ever be quiet. Just don't. So I feel like this shaman is giving you that message, and it is a vitally important message for you. Don't be afraid to be who you are, to share your divine wisdom, to teach people your traditions, to teach people your principles and values, to teach people the history of your people, of your tribes, of the people that you're descended from. Okay, I'm going to take a breath. The outcome is the Three of Acorns. The Three of Acorns is about foresight and exploration in this particular card. And I like him. This is the giraffe. He sees things from a different perspective. He has this big long neck that allows him to look down on situations. And I like cards that represent that. You know, sometimes the birds are the same, where they have these really sharp eyes and they can see minute details from 30,000 feet. I feel like with the giraffe, he's also doing this. He's also looking at what's coming up, what can I do, what could I make happen, what plans should I make, and how do I make them happen, how will my ships come in. This card is about self-confidence and having the self-confidence to make your dreams happen. We can all make fantastic plans. You know, I mean, I've done it myself. I make a wonderful plan. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do the other. And then when it actually comes to doing the thing, I can have a lapse in confidence and think, oh, I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if I'm able to do that. You know, all the usual negative self-talk. This card is saying to you, you need to have the confidence. There is something big that you need to create here. You need to start. It's not about the planning anymore now. It's about starting. A fresh start. And I feel very much that this will be lucrative. This is your financial reading after all. I don't feel like it's telling you that you're going to have millions of monies, but following this path will open up something very new and something very lucrative for you. And I'm going to reiterate again, because Spirit has just said it again to me, you can have money and be a spiritual person. Imagine what you could do if you were wealthy, who you could help. I'm going to pull a card to clarify this row, just because I can. And I've got the Knight of Wands there. This is an attractive card. He is a card of attraction. He's a card of charisma. He's a card of drive. His charger is moving forward. This card represents your energy, your enthusiasm, your passion, your inspiration, what you believe and not what you think. This guy is here to tell you that it's time for you to start your adventure. It's about action. Absolute action. It can represent a new project, again, a new crusade, a new mission, and progressing it forward. What a perfectly apt card that is. I feel like there is money in this for you. I'm just going to go again and see if anything comes out. So the second card I got is the Judgement card. Major Arcana again. Life lessons. Wonderful significance here. Learning new things. The Judgement card is all about an awakening. It's about renewal. It's another card that is about this renewal and rebirth. It's about healing. It's about finding a new purpose. It's about enlightenment. It's also about evaluation. It's about taking a good, hard, cold look at the truth and asking yourself the deep questions that you need to ask. I always think when I look at this card, these people are naked. Okay? No masks. No coverings. Nothing hiding them. You know, they are who they truly are. They're authentic and true to themselves. Just no coverings, no nothing. They're just pure and naked and open. And I feel like this is what you need to do. You need to start weighing things up now in your business, or, you know, in the area of business if you've not started a business yet. This is definitely about you becoming very authentic, about you doing what you really, truly want to do. This awakening is coming. It could feel uncomfortable, is what Spirit has just said to me. It could feel uncomfortable, and that's why you need this self-confidence. If you need self-confidence, just download my free gift that you'll find in the description below, because it helps with confidence. Just listen to it for 21 days, and honestly, it's like magic. It is like magic. It will help you in a lot of different areas. But I feel that this is you needing to take a long, hard look, to think hard about what matters to you, what really matters to you, who really matters to you, what causes really matter to you, what projects really matter to you, and steer your business in that direction, because it's linked somehow to your passion and purpose. And your passion and purpose might scare the living crap out of you, but it's what you were put here to do. So take some time out. Take some time out and think about what you really, really want. Your business reading. The answer is yes. In the book, it's just literally a page of yeses. And this card, despite numerous hours of shuffling, has come out for about 3 different star signs this month. Whatever you are holding yourself back from doing, it's time to just do it. Just say yes. The universe is calling you. Just say yes. Your soul is calling you. Just say yes. Just say yes, Leo. Where you need to focus your energy is on the moon. Inspiration, imagination, perception. It's a beautiful card. I love this. This is about you shining light on a situation that is under the surface. It can be about your perception. It can be about uncovering your fears. And I feel in this particular reading that that is what this is all about. You know, I think, what you need to be doing. You may not have the full picture. You may not feel like it's clear. But you know that whatever it is that you're doing now isn't the right thing. It isn't quite right. It's not really there. Does that make sense? There are directions that you'd like to go in, but you're not sure what those directions are. You're not sure whether you should. There's a lot of fear of stepping into the unknown, I think, which is absolutely natural. I think, what's that thing that Joan of Arc said? That she was born for this. I will not fear, I was born for this, or something like that. And yet, you're not telling me she wasn't afraid. Honestly. Of course she was afraid. But courage is doing something despite being fearful. Okay? And I feel like this is what you're being encouraged to do. You're being encouraged to look at your fears. What are you afraid of? Tell me in the comments below. If you're wanting to start a business or wanting to start a new product or service, tell me, what is it that you want to do, but what are your fears around it? Is it a fear of failure? Is it a fear that you're not good enough? Is it a fear that nobody will buy it? Is it a fear that nobody will understand you? Is it a fear that if you put this thing out there, everybody's going to laugh? Is it a fear of criticism? Is it a fear of not having enough qualifications or certificates? Is it a fear that you don't have enough money to do it? Is it a fear that you can't find the right people to put on a team to make this happen? Is it just a fear that you just can't do this? That you're not good enough? That you're not enough? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know, because I can help you with all of those things in a really simple and magical way. I can help you fix those fears while you sleep. And if they're particularly deep-rooted, then I can do some subconscious psychotherapy with you, where you just go into a nice trance state and I will discuss with your subconscious where your fears are coming from and help you get rid of them. We can do some soul healing. We can do ancestral healing. I can do past life regression with you to find out where your fears have come from if they're not obvious. You know, it could be that you have a witch wound or a persecution wound that needs to be healed, and I can help you with that. Contact me. It's very easy. You can talk to me at wildfoxalchemy@gmail.com, or you can email me at maria@wildfoxalchemy.com. Either way, whichever. It all gets to me. Your strengths now. The 9 of Acorns, Power and Perseverance. I love this card, and I love the position that it is in for you. The 9 of Acorns is a fantastic card. Again, this is about your energy, enthusiasm, passion, inspiration, what you believe, not what you think. This is fabulous because it just tells me how powerful you are. You are close to the finish line. You must never give up. You may have been challenged before. Okay, so it's possible that you've had an idea for business before and it's not worked, or in your mind you feel it hasn't worked. You know, maybe you created something and nobody bought it and you thought, well, that was a dead loss, wasn't it? I'll never do that again. Or you launched something and you got a bunch of bad reviews on it and you thought, well, that's hurt me, I'm just not going to do that again. This card always says to me, never, ever, ever give up. Don't give up, because you are so close to getting it right. Quite often with products and services, it isn't that nobody wants them. It isn't that, you know, you were rubbish at it or that it was a load of crap. It's sometimes just that you need to market it better, or that it needs a little bit of tweaking. And that could be where your collaboration comes in. If you've published something before, published a book, for example, or you've created a course before, and you're thinking to yourself, that didn't work well, so all these wonderful new ideas that Spirit is calling me to try, that my soul is calling me to try, I don't want to do them because I know what it feels like to be rejected or criticised or to fail, and I don't want to go through that again. And that is completely understandable. But I feel like what you need to do is find a collaborator, find somebody to put this thing in front of and say, is there something wrong with it? And by that I don't mean a collaborator like your mum, or, you know, your best mate who's going to say, oh, of course it's marvellous, dear. You know, everything's perfect. You need somebody that's honest, that will say to you, ah, yes, I've gone over your thing, and what I've discovered is X, Y, and Z. Because then you can go and put those things right. You want constructive criticism, not somebody who'll, you know, just want to make you happy. You also don't want somebody who's going to deliberately want to make you sad either, so pick carefully. But I feel like there are often things that we put out and we are wary because of the way that it's been received before. And they just need minor changes. Just minor things. You know, I mean, I've lost count of the amount of books that I've read recently by people that are beautifully talented. But things like their grammar and punctuation and stuff are horrendous. Now, I'm not one of the grammar police, don't get me wrong, I'm not there telling everybody about apostrophes and all this, that and the other, because that's not the way of things. But what it does do is it jars me when I'm reading, especially if the grammar is poor and I can't always make sense of a sentence. Now, these incredibly talented people, all they need is an editor. Just somebody to just go through it and make sense of it and say, oh, hang on a minute, this sentence seems a little bit jarring, or I you know, it could go two ways, or I didn't really understand it. Can you tell me, can you explain to me what you meant when you wrote this, so that we can put it in a way that your readers are going to instantly understand what you're talking about? You know, not everybody is talented at the actual skill of the writing. They know what they want to write, and what they have to say is so valuable, and it's so necessary to get it out into the world. It just needs a collaborator to tweak it, and then it would get to more people. Things like your courses, you know, there could be something that's a little bit jarring in a course that you've created, where somebody else will see it straight away, and it could just be the most minor of things. It might not be a big thing, and it might just be a small thing that stopped people from buying from you. Or that made people buy from you and then go, ugh, I wish I hadn't bought that now because it wasn't what I expected. There's lots of different reasons. It could even be that what you've created is something absolutely bloody amazing, and it was your marketing that failed because you were scared to tell people about what you'd created. And all you need is somebody to go through that stuff and go, actually, this was bang on. It's amazing. It needs to be out there. And maybe your collaborator could be the right person to be posting on social media about it, to be creating blog posts for you, to be blowing your trumpet if you're not able to blow your own. Does that make sense? I hope so. But I do feel that now is not the time to give up. So if you've been thinking about giving up, Leo, because things haven't been going the way that you have hoped, I hope this reading is going to fire you up now, because this is saying to you it's time for a new fresh start on things, to start something new that is more in alignment with who you are at soul level, and you are going to fly. You really are. You're going to persevere. You are not going to give up. It's not time for you to give up. It's just time for you to tweak, to pivot, to change, to amend, to learn and grow. Okay? God, this is a brilliant reading, Leo. I'm loving it. Your blockages in your business reading are the 3 of feathers. Now, the feathers are intellect and thoughts. Thoughts, oh my God. We spend so much time, Leo, believing what we think. It's crazy. It really is. What this is telling me is that there could have been a loss somewhere. And again, I feel like this is in line with this 9 of Acorns, where sometimes you feel a bit sorry for yourself. You've been challenged. You are a little bit paranoid because something has happened before that has knocked your confidence, that has knocked you somehow. It could be something as drastic as losing a business altogether. It could be something as drastic as actually being vilified on the internet over something that you've created, which is a horrible experience. It could be that, you know, you've had some bad reviews on something. It could just be that somebody told you weren't good enough, or you got a troll that really touched a nerve. I don't know what it is, but it can knock our confidence when it comes to trying again. And I don't want that to be the issue here for you. The 3 of feathers is about release and recovery. It's about letting go of negative energy. It's about an emotional release, letting go of the things that do not serve you anymore, of hurt feelings that hold you back. The 3 in this case is temporary. The words that always come to mind with this card are "this too shall pass." It's not a situation that you are going to stay in. But what I feel is that it's your choice whether you stay in this emotional maelstrom of feeling upset, of feeling worried that if you try something new it's not going to work, or you're going to get laughed at or whatever. Thick skin. It's time for thick skin is what Spirit has just said. Let go of those feelings, because they're stopping you from moving forward into the success that you desire and deserve, and the success that would make a difference in this world. If you want to be a firefly and light up the world, you can't do it by hiding under a leaf. You've got to get out there, you've got to fly. And even better, you've got to join other fireflies so you make an even brighter light. Does that make sense? I hope so. But I do feel like you need to work on it. You need to work on letting go of it, because it's kind of in line with this shaman. It could be that this situation has been caused by you speaking up about your spirituality, about your ancestors maybe, and being completely shot down by somebody. And again, you know, I kind of say, my words are very easy to say, but if you've been assaulted or tortured or harassed or abused or whatever because of who you are and because of your beliefs, it can be very difficult to get up and start talking about it again. You know, I mean, I am a privileged white woman. The most abuse I get is about my weight and my appearance. And that's cruel. It is cruel. But that is nothing compared to some of the abuse I see of other people, of marginalised people. The just pitiful actions of people. It's horrendous. And you know, if you're afraid for your life for being out and proud about who you are, that can make it very difficult. But there is strength in numbers, is what Spirit has just said to me. There is strength in numbers. There are allies, there are people that are just like you, and you all need to get together. We all need to get together and stand together and snuff out this bullshit. Instead of turning these experiences into fear, we almost need to turn them into anger, but controlled anger. You know, this is not about going out and fighting fire with fire. This is about being fired up to fight, but in a very constructive way. Alright? God, this is... The energy in this room is just phenomenal today, and Spirit has so many things that... I honestly think Spirit is frustrated today with the events of the world. I just think Spirit is calling on people like you and me to get fired up and start making the differences, to stop hiding behind the sofa. If everybody hides behind the sofa, there's no hope. But if everybody gets up and starts to fight against everything that is wrong on this planet, we have hope for a new world, a new beginning. Your outcome is the Page of Shells, intuition and inspiration. This is a little guy, a little messenger here. He's full of spontaneity and surprises. He's telling you that something unexpected is going to come into you. I'm being told that this is a time for you to be meditative, without a doubt. But at the same time as downloading your own personal messages from Spirit and from your soul, from your intuition, that you should also look for inspiration in your groups, in your colleagues, in your friends, in the circles that you're in. Because I feel like that's really important. Spirit is saying that is vitally important for you. Not to just go with what is intuitive for you, but you'll find inspiration in unexpected places. Yes, that's what I just got. You will find your inspiration in unexpected places, and your intuition will tell you whether you're on the right path or not. Okay, right, okay. Ooh. I got the Three of Swords that just insisted on coming out there. The Three of Swords, oops, I'm just juggling everything, is the same as this. It's the exact same card. Spirit wants you to know, it wants you to reinforce it, that it's time to let go of the negativity, even though it has been super hard for you. Even though whatever has happened is really not your confidence and your faith in humanity, perhaps, it's still time to release and let go, to use it as a catalyst to make something new happen. I've got the Page of Pentacles. He is another messenger. He is all about being curious, being spontaneous, looking for ways to express yourself. This is an invitation to new projects, to new beginnings. The pages are youngsters. They're starting out on a new journey. This card in particular is about goal setting, because it's a Pentacles card. This is about physical things that you can touch. It's about reward and ambition, that sort of thing. And he is here to say it's time for you to manifest these new ideas and not to worry about your skills or your certifications and all that nonsense. They're saying to you, Spirit is saying to you, that you can learn on the job. So pretty much you could hang out your shingle and say, I'm ready to get going. Now, again, a proviso. You can't be a lawyer and learn on the job. You can't be a surgeon and learn on the job. That is not what I'm saying, okay? I don't want you cutting somebody open and going, well, Maria said I could learn on the job. Because, yeah, let's be sensible about this. But there are some things that you can learn as you go. Without a doubt. And if that's the thing for you, just get started. This is an action-based reading for you now. This is all about you being productive, taking action and moving whatever it is that you want forward and doing it in a brave way. And if you come across your business blocks, you just have to overcome them, heal them. And if you need any help with that, here I am. I'm always here. Okay? If finances are an issue for you, just let me know. Just message me and let me know. It's not a problem. We can always work something out, because I want to see you rise. I want to see you rise. I want to see you succeed. I want to create a business that changes the world for somebody, that makes a massive impact, either through the work that you do or the profits that you make. Doesn't matter which, but that's what I want to see you do. I'm going to leave it there, Leo. Before I go, I just want to mention I am doing a giveaway for the new year. I forgot to mention it at the beginning. I'm doing a giveaway. I'm giving away an intuitive business success session worth $222.22. This is a 2-hour session that we can use to form a plan for your business. Now, it's called Intuitive Business Success because I receive downloads from Spirit. We can use the cards. We can use this beautiful pendulum that I have here to help you to get to grips, find clarity, and move past any blocks that you might be suffering from with your business, so that by the end of the session you should feel very clear about what you need to do next. To enter into this giveaway, all you need to do is comment below this video and tell me what you are struggling with the most in your business right now. Is it finances? Is it getting clients? Is it being visible? Do you fear being visible? Is it being overwhelmed with things like social media marketing? Is it that you just don't feel good enough? Is it a confidence issue when it comes to things like selling? Is it that you are a perfectionist or a procrastinator and you've got a great idea for a business but you just can't seem to push it forward? Let me know in the comments below and you will be entered in to that draw, and that 2-hour session will help you overcome those problems. Okay? If you don't want to wait to see whether you've won or not, I have a special deal for you. Underneath this video, and this is only advertised to my YouTube people, is a half price deal on the Intuitive Business Success session, so you can have it for $111.11 for 2 hours. That will give you clarity that is priceless. Let's be honest. You will move forward feeling really confident and able to push your business to the next level. That's of interest to you, click the link below in the description or in the comments below. So I'm going to go now. This is Maria Guyon signing out with love and magic always. Good luck, have a great January and a fantastic new year, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye for now.